I find that Africa is one continent that is so distinct from the rest in terms of the kind of mindset the people have. You go to China, Chinese people think that they are the best, like they are on top of the world, or they should be on top of the world. If you go to Britain, Great Britain thinks that this is Great Britain, like this is
They have
the
the name
this
Great.
is the superpower. Yeah, you see, when you go to America, if you go to America
Superiority
and
complex.
somebody in America like is the best to do something, in maybe the youngest person to make a certain feat or achieve something in America,
They say in the world.
they will report it as the
In the
youngest
world.
person in
In
the
the
world.
world. It's true.
You see,
The strongest man. Watch wrestling. They'll say this person is the strongest man in the
in the
world. This
world,
person is meanwhile this person is confined to America.
exactly. The pre-tertiary system trains you differently because
Okay.
of how it works.
There are
And
other opportunities to make up for.
exactly, if you
Yeah.
fail your WASI, you can write
No
NOVDEC.
deck. It's true.
In 1 year, your life is fixed back. Like you can be on track like nothing
It's true.
happened.
It's true.
But if you miss out on getting a good grade in tertiary school,
It affects you
it
for
can
life.
affect you for life.
Very true.
Because there are certain opportunities to get scholarships to study abroad or
Fellowships and some
yeah, that you will be denied because
graduate
you've not gotten
graduate training programs and all that.
exactly
Yeah.
2 years after joining a company in an industry that I had not worked in professionally before.
Mhm.
I was made the head of a department. I think that was also very humbling. Miles Monroe was another one.
Okay.
Talking about finding your purpose, why
Okay.
it's so important, how it's better to be dead than to be alive without a purpose. So many heavy things. So I was like, no, 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 I have to find my purpose.
What advice do you have for a young person who feels like what they are doing right now is not what they want to do? They want to pivot and do something else that they are more passionate about, but they may feel like maybe one, they have spent so much time doing what they are currently doing, and they feel like it's too late to change, or two, they may be afraid of what people will say, their friends or family or loved ones will say. Welcome to the Tales of Africa podcast with your host, Richmond Sertrana. I come your way again with another amazing episode, this time with a brilliant young man called Ebenezer Quist, who has gone on to achieve great things. Now, this is a young man who did chemical engineering at the tertiary level, but had to pivot to do content creation and transformational speaking. He's here to tell us all about that journey. So, you're welcome to the Tales of Africa podcast, Ebenezer Quist. It's an honor to have you today.
Thank you very much. It's a great pleasure to be here. Because
Right.
I know there have been great personalities on this platform, so I'm highly honored.
All right, Eben. So maybe you can tell our viewers a little bit about your background, maybe your educational and qualificational background.
Okay, so as you rightly said, I got chemical engineering degree. That was in 2017, and then I switched to the media space, the digital media space, where I've been a writer with yen.com Media Limited, and right now I work with a similar platform, but it's not in Ghana. Yeah, and then also I do YouTube. So YouTube is like my full-time thing now,
Okay.
and then the other writing thing is on the side. Yeah,
All right.
basically that's like a quick summary.
Okay. So I mean, you're a brilliant young man. You had 6 A's in your at the senior high school level. You entered into tertiary. I mean, with 6 A's out of 8 subjects, you can basically get into almost every program that you want,
Yeah,
basically.
more or less.
So why did you decide to go with chemical engineering?
Okay, well, chemical engineering was recommended for me.
Okay.
Yeah, my brother was working at Tema Oil Refinery, and then I asked him that what is the best engineering program, and then he said it was chemical engineering.
Okay.
And so I went for chemical engineering. Interestingly, the same time I chose chemical engineering, I chose medicine at Legon.
Okay.
But Legon didn't pick me. They didn't even give me any program at all.
Okay.
So I just went for the chemical engineering. So, but that shows you I was not even like clear in what I wanted to do, because choosing medicine here, engineering there, I just wanted a good program.
Okay.
Yeah.
So does that mean you didn't really know what you wanted to do in life as at that point?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know much about my potential, my passion, anything. I didn't know anything about
Okay.
that. So I just was going for what I thought would give me money and a decent career.
Okay, amazing. So chemical engineering is not bad. I mean, it's not bad at all.
Not at all.
And if you are looking for money, then it will not make sense to switch from chemical engineering to content writing.
Mm-hmm.
So why that switch? And when did that switch happen?
So that switch actually started in 2014 when I was still in KNUST.
Okay.
So I was in second year when
At the
I came
tertiary
into,
level.
yeah,
Yeah.
when I came into some videos talking about purpose. Somebody like Steve Jobs,
Okay.
his graduation speech. Uh, yeah, I watched these videos and they were all talking about purpose. Purpose. Miles Monroe was another one talking
Okay.
about finding your purpose,
Okay.
why it's so important, how it's better to be dead than to be alive without a purpose. So many heavy things. So I was like, no, 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 I have to find my purpose. So that was when I started going on the spree of doing an introspection and try
Okay.
to find what I was good at, what I wanted to do with my potentials and all. So that was where it started.
Okay.
So from there, I started joining some campus organization that will help groom me
Okay.
in that writing, which I found to be part or linked with my purpose in a way.
Okay.
So I started working on that, and then I got to a level where I wrote my first book in final
Wow.
year at
Wow.
KNUST. And so I graduated, and then I still kept trying options of switching. And then later, I got the opportunity with Yen.com Media Limited,
Okay.
and then I switched from engineering finally, totally.
Okay. That's fine. So,
Mhm.
um, when you're trying to rediscover your purpose on campus, when you came across those materials, the
Mhm.
videos and
Mhm.
everything, how did you settle on writing? Why not singing, dancing? Is it that
Yeah.
before then were you doing some writings, or how did you discover that okay, I think this writing thing is good for me? When
Yeah.
did that happen?
Yeah. That's a very, very good question. So I'll say that discovering purpose is in two phases, right?
Okay.
First of all, you find what you want to do, what your passion is, and then you find what talent you have.
Okay.
These are very two distinct things.
Okay.
People normally confuse them, but they are very distinct. What you are passionate about may be something like children. It's not a skill.
Yeah.
You're just passionate about kids. When you see kids,
Less
you want to
privileged people, kids,
exactly,
that
yeah.
kind of thing.
Or maybe about God.
Yeah.
That's not a skill.
Okay.
That's just a passion, a drive,
Okay.
right? So I found a drive, right? And then I had to find what talent or skill I have in order to fulfill that drive,
Okay.
which is the second part.
Okay.
So when you find a drive, then you find a talent or skill that you can use to fulfill that passion.
Okay.
So somebody, for instance, can find themselves to be passionate about God, right? But then they would find that they have a talent of speaking.
Okay.
So they will become a preacher.
Okay.
So, or you can become a writer
Yeah.
or a translator,
Yeah.
translating the Bible into the things like that. So, I, basically, what I'm trying to say is that I was driven to like make some impact in the world,
Okay.
positive impact, like teaching people to live well,
Okay.
things like that. And then, so the skill I decided to choose was writing because it was the easiest to go to. That was the reason.
Okay.
I actually started writing songs.
Okay.
I started rapping, like writing rap. Yeah. But I realized that if I wanted to pursue that, going to studio and all, it was quite capital intensive for a student.
Okay.
So I went for the least capital intensive one, which was the writing, and then I started growing myself in that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this happened whilst you're still in school,
Yes.
like
Still
second
in
year.
school. Yes.
Okay. So now I can assume that you're not paying your own fees.
No, no, no.
Your parents or family was paying your
Yeah,
fees for you,
yeah,
and in their minds, this our son, this our brother is going to become a chemical engineer,
yeah,
probably earn some good money, and then
yeah.
sort himself and the family out.
Mhm.
But now you wanted to pivot from chemical engineering into transformational speaking, transformational writing. How, when you finally told your family, when did you finally tell them, or when did they discover this, and how did they take the news?
Well, so all along they didn't know that I was actually making a switch. They just thought, oh, I was doing some interesting things,
Okay.
writing for some websites or writing a book. They just thought it was interesting.
Okay.
But they didn't know that they were intentional steps I was taking to make a switch.
Okay.
They found out when I was finally making the last switch of changing from my engineering job at Wilma
Okay.
Africa Limited,
Okay.
which is a fried oil producing company,
Okay. So they
to
produce cooking oil.
yes,
This was after school. You
yes,
now started working.
yes,
So now you were switching from like your profession, like being a chemical engineer,
yes,
switching into the
yeah,
the media content writing space.
yeah. Actually, the week I came to yen.com.gh, I went to Wilma the same week. I
Okay.
went to Wilma Monday and Tuesday, and then came to Yen Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Amazing. Amazing.
So yeah, that was when they found out that, oh, I was actually changing my path completely. But the process had been going on for a long
behind
time.
the scenes. And how did they take the news?
Oh, well, it was a bit concerning,
Okay.
and which is normal because this was my training, my qualification. Like a lot had gone into it from the way, from how they saw it, but a lot had also gone into what I was also doing, and they were not very happy. But I explained to them that this is what I wanted to do, and I saw my future there, and I thought I would do very well, and
Mm,
so well they accepted. They were not very happy, but they accepted.
okay.
Yes.
So I mean, they mean well for you. So they're looking out
Hmm.
for you.
Yeah, yeah,
So how would you describe the journey so far? Now, like fully being immersed in the media space, in the content writing, content creation space. Would you call it? Would you say it has been a fulfilling journey so far?
yeah.
Comparing it to when
Mhm.
you were a chemical engineer.
Yeah. The thing is, it has not been about the money only,
Okay.
but even with the money, I'll say that I'm not doing badly.
Okay.
Like, it's not like I went from
So that you are
100 to
struggling.
10. No, nah.
Yeah,
So, but the better part of it is like the fulfillment of doing what you want to do.
you're passionate about.
Yeah, what you are passionate about, and so it has been a very fulfilling journey. Like some of the successes that I've been privileged to have chalked. Look, I mean, I'm very happy with them. One
Mm-hmm.
of them is linking up with very top personalities who are influencers or doing some amazing things. People like yourself. I would never have gotten to meet brains like that doing massive, amazing things about making this world a better place. And you know, being able to meet those people has been one of the things that I'm grateful for. But there are others like coming to understand how the internet works and
Okay.
how to push things around to make a certain impact on the online. Look, these insights are quite valuable,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I think it also makes me understand humanity to a greater extent
Okay.
because look, people don't really follow what they say. That is one thing I came to find out when I was working at here because I was behind the scenes seeing people telling the platform that, oh, we don't want this kind of content. They'll bash you that, oh, why are you publishing this? Some of them will even insult you that you are publishing rubbish content, you are publishing like nonsense. But those are the content that will perform better than any other content. Those same posts that they said they don't want to see, they click on it, they watch it, they
You consume
consume
it.
it with passion. So at the end of the day, you realize that this is how people's mind works, or humanity in general. If this is how people work, then you have to be careful in life.
Okay.
You know. So things like that, I've been privileged to come to understand all these things, and it's quite fulfilling for me.
Amazing. So maybe initially they'll fight you, but later they'll accept it,
Yes,
and
yes,
they'll
yes.
become your ardent followers.
That's
Amazing.
too. Hmm.
Okay. So I know you are being humble, but I want you to mention some of the tangible achievements that you've clocked since you started this journey.
Okay. One interesting thing is that every year since I joined the N.com.gh, at the end of the year, they do an award ceremony.
Okay.
And every year I win at least one award.
Wow.
Yeah. From the very first time I went there till the time I left, have won awards.
Like what kind of award?
One is Outstanding Achievement for Professional Conduct Award.
Okay.
One was the Best Human Interest Editor Award.
Wow.
One was which one again?
I mean, at a point you were the head of human interest desk,
Yes,
head of department.
yeah. I
Yeah.
2 years after joining a company in an industry that I had not worked in professionally before,
Hmm.
I was made the head of a department. I think that was also very humbling. And in all my personal articles, I've gotten like 28 million
Views.
reads online.
Amazing.
Yeah, and one thing that I'm also very humbled by is that every single person that I've trained at Yen went on to become a top personality.
Wow. I mean, I worked with you.
Yeah.
I worked under you at the end, so I
every
can attest to
every
what you are saying.
everybody. I don't want to maybe I should mention names, but I don't want to mention names at the same time. But from the very first person, Linda, to the very last person, which was Magdalene, everybody has been able to get to a point where like they are formidable. And
Wow.
I think that that has been a very humbling achievement for me. Yeah,
Amazing. And
these are some of them.
how many stories would you say you've written so far?
Okay, so in total, my publications on the internet should be around 10,000 in
Wow.
total. Yeah,
10,000
yeah,
publications. That's in a period of how many years?
5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And people are able to do this in their lifetime.
Well, yeah. The at Yen alone, it was more than 7,000,
Okay.
and I've published at other places, and when
Mm,
you put all together, hmm almost 10,000 or about 10,000.
that's really impressive.
Mm-hmm.
That's really, really
Thank you.
impressive. That means, I mean, it's doable.
Oh, it is.
It's doable.
It's
Wow.
doable.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I know you've written 3 books so
Yes.
far.
Yeah.
You've self-published. Is it self-published?
Yes.
Three
The
books.
the first one, it was a publishing company that helped
Okay.
me, but the last two
Okay.
self-published.
Can you tell us a little bit about the 3 books? Maybe just briefly touch on them.
Okay. Okay. So the first book is called Reformed or Deformed.
Reformed or deformed?
Reformed or Deformed.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's a book on tertiary life and how to live fruitfully, graduate without regrets.
Okay.
Second one is Cheers and Tears of After School Life.
Okay.
That is a book to, as the name suggests, okay, maybe it doesn't, but yeah, is to train or equip young people with the knowledge they need right after graduating from school in order to settle in the workspace and succeed in life.
Okay.
Yeah. And the last one is Agbewe 3, which is my real life story about my first love story.
Wow.
Yes.
Your real life story about your first love story.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. So if people want to buy any of these books, I mean, how can they get them?
Okay, well, you can reach out to me personally because some of them are limited. So my name is Ebenezer Quist. If you Google me, you find where to find me. But you can just go on Twitter, do the same thing, search for me, Ebenezer Quist. You do same on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. You'll find me.
All right.
Yeah.
And I can see you're wearing a lovely t-shirt and they've written on it EK Inspire. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So EK Inspire is my startup,
Okay.
which is aimed at making positive impact.
Okay.
Yeah, making so this 1, 2, 3, 4. These are like the different means through which we want to make impact. We have
Different
like
pathways.
different pathways. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a versatile idea
Okay.
that we are nurturing
Okay.
to make impact in different means.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is basically what we are about to make people live better
Okay.
and make society better than we found it. That is it.
All right. That's
Mhm.
amazing. So if you had to go back in time to maybe high school, your high school period, what would you have done differently, knowing what you know now? Would you still
Okay.
want to pursue chemical engineering, or would you want to just go straight to transformational speaking, probably look for schools that offer some writing, or what would you have
Mm.
done?
So what I would have done differently if I were in high school, first of all, I would approach university life or tertiary life very differently
Okay.
from what I did, because now after going through the system, I've come to understand a number of things that we don't take seriously, or people are not like awakened to when they are going into tertiary. The first thing is that look, the tertiary system doesn't test how brilliant you are. Because
Okay.
by the time you get into tertiary, no matter who you are, by the time you go through the system of writing BEC, writing WASI, passing and getting admission into tertiary school, you are smart. Like you are very smart
I mean,
actually.
these are the creme de la creme
Yeah,
from their various
yeah,
places, and they've all come.
exactly. You are very smart. And so once you get there, the system doesn't test brilliance again.
Okay.
Because if you want to test how smart people are, everybody there is smart, then everybody will get first class.
Yeah.
So we test they test time management,
Okay.
how well you are able to fix
Prioritize.
fix a lot of tasks together.
Yeah.
Because trust me, there are certain courses I took in tertiary school, like in one semester, that we took the same volume of courses as subjects for 3 years in high school. Yeah, something like technical drawing, something like engineering maths. Engineering maths, the books are like this. One semester book can be like this. Yeah, and that is like bigger than e-maths textbook in high school, because they want to test how not just your brilliance, but how effectively you can manage your time to do a lot at the same time. Because if they want to test brilliance, as I said, everybody will pass, everybody will get first class. But in order to separate the very best, you have to test other values. And this is something that you are not told. If you are told, you will equip yourself for it. And also in tertiary school, you realize that there's a lot going on. There are a lot of activities happening, and you are supposed to learn to network, and you are supposed to equip yourself not just with academics, but with other things that will equip you to be able to leverage and make impact in life. So, in order to be successful in life, you need networks. You have to network with people. You have to learn public speaking. All these things are things I would have starting to build my CV right from first year.
Okay.
Many people go into school not thinking of, not even knowing what CVs
What a
are.
CV is. Yes.
They will get into final year, maybe they are applying to a company that came to do some program on campus, and they will ask them to submit their CV. Then they will now go and Google what CV is, and
Yeah.
how am I supposed to have all
You
these
know,
experiences?
I remember
Mhm.
when I was on campus, right? And then they give us assignments to do, and the lecturer will tell us to justify the work. You know, in Microsoft Word, there's a way to justify content. You know about
Exactly.
that?
Yes. Yes.
So the lecturer will give us maybe font size, maybe
Mm-hmm.
12,
Mm-hmm.
spacing 1.5,
Mm-hmm.
and also justify the work. And we didn't know what that was. So
Mm-hmm.
after we do the work, we have to now send it to an internet cafe for them to justify it.
Oh wow! Wow,
For
interesting.
them to justify it. So these are some of the little things
Yeah,
that
yeah.
we are not really taught
Mm-hmm.
here.
So, but if you are told these things, another one is that when you finish your tertiary school, there's nothing like NOVDEC. You
Yeah.
see, the pre-tertiary system trains you differently because
Okay.
of how it works.
There are
And
other opportunities to make up for.
exactly, if you
Yeah.
fail your WASI, you can write
No
NOVDEC.
deck. It's true.
In 1 year, your life is fixed back. Like you can be on track like nothing
It's true.
happened.
It's true.
But if you miss out on getting a good grade in tertiary school,
It affects you
it
for
can
life.
affect you for life,
Very true.
because there are certain opportunities to get scholarships to study abroad, or
Fellowships and some
yeah, that you will be denied because
graduate
you've not gotten
graduate training programs and all that.
exactly
Yeah.
that. You are denied for life unless you go and do another 4 years.
Hmm.
And this is something that they don't tell you. So you go into the classroom or into tertiary with the mentality that, oh, like the way you did SHS, maybe some people didn't even start very well. They got into final year, they sped up their game, and then they graduated. They wrote their awasi and graduated. And that's another thing the tertiary system also doesn't do. From your very first time of stepping foot in tertiary school, your grades matter, because it will be added to your total.
Cumulative. It's cumulative.
It's cumulative. You see, it will be added to what you can do
There's
poorly
not
in your
like it's
first.
not like yeah, it's wiped at first. Like they wiped it off. You have to now. No, it's
Then you just
cumulative.
write
Yeah,
wasi. That's
yeah. So one time,
like
and then that's it.
that
So you
proves
can
that
perform poorly from first to second year. Then you become hardworking and put everything on WASI, and then you pass, and that's it.
yes. So
That's
all
not
these
that
all these things people don't tell you. So you go into tertiary school, maybe you are not as serious as you should be because you have that deck mentality
way.
from high school, which is subconscious, right? And then it affects you, and you don't realize that it's cumulative. So, like how you studied for WASI, you know how we were studying for WASI, like maybe sometimes we will not even sleep and all. Like that's the kind of mindset you approach
Yeah, very
your
true.
first year with.
Very true.
When you enter, you approach very seriously, so that you can have that cumulative working in your favor.
It's true.
So all these things I would have used them to get myself well started in tertiary school, well networked, and well CV'd, if I can put it that way. You know, once I hit tertiary school, and I would have done way better. I think I would have made more impact in tertiary school, maybe written more books, made more networks, and like put myself in a better position to make more impact. Yeah, that's one thing I would have done. And you also talked about probably studying something about writing, or maybe, but I find that ideally I would have wanted to study a course in probably transformational writing
Okay.
specifically, but there's nothing like that. So at the end of the day, whatever I studied, I
You're
would
probably
have.
going to GIJ or something to go
Yeah.
and do some communication studies,
Yeah, it would have
or even
it would have
journalism.
helped. It would have helped. But ideally, what I wanted to do was something that will make me make impact. And there's not really a course that cuts to the impact side
The
like that.
motivational, inspirational aspects
Exactly.
of things.
So at the end of the day, I'll still have to like self-educate myself and train myself to do that very well.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't regret doing engineering, trust me, because I enjoy what I've come to understand about factories and how things work in that area. And sometimes even when somebody comes to work in my house, like fix my AC or something, I'm looking at him, I'm looking at the tools he's using, and I fully understand what I just don't maybe don't get a very technical part of his job, but
Yeah.
the basic things I know and I can assist him very well. And it gives me joy to be able to do that.
It's like just some bonus
Yeah.
knowledge
Yes,
that you
yes.
have to go and spend money on in 4 years to get a certificate. Oh, okay,
It's
it's
true.
fine. Okay. Thank you so much, Ebenezer. So, what advice do you have for a young person who feels like what they are doing right now is not what they want to do? They want to pivot and do something else that they are more passionate about, but they may feel like maybe one, they have spent so much time doing what they are currently doing, and they feel like it's too late to change, or two, they may be afraid of what people will say, their friends or
Mm-hmm.
family or loved ones will say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So first of all, I'll say that congratulations, because if you found something that is different from what you do, it means you actually did some work to find something you are interested in.
Okay.
This I think is something that most people don't do in their lifetime.
Okay.
Yeah. People don't like go on that journey to find what they are actually passionate about and to spend their life on it. So if you've done that, you've done stage one, congratulations. The second thing, I will really encourage you to go and pursue that, because at the end of the day, this is your life. Okay, if somebody is not happy for you now, like that you're making that switch now, it's just temporary, because at the end of the day, whatever you pursue is where you make your most impact, and you'll later come to appreciate that journey. So, by all means, if you found that purpose and you're sure that that is your purpose, then go for it, pursue it relentlessly. At the end of the day, it will yield the fruits that people think what you were on will bear. You will yield better fruits than whatever you were pursuing, because your purpose is the most ideal thing you have to do in life. It's just like a fridge. A fridge has a purpose of cooling things. If you are working as a storage device, just a storage device, like it's a box. A fridge is like it's just a box that cools things. So maybe you were working as a storage device or maybe as a wardrobe. Right? People were using you as a wardrobe, and they think that, oh, you are doing well. But if you switch from there and you start working as a fridge, as you are supposed to work, you realize that your impact will be more felt and more appreciated in life. And the people who are using you as a wardrobe will now understand that, oh, this is what you are actually meant to do, and they will appreciate that journey more. So if you are sure, go for that, and then you will make the most impact from your life.
All right. Thank you for that, Ebenezer. Our last question for you today is
Okay.
you spoke about your startup, EK Inspire, that seeks to do transformational speaking, transformational writing to empower people and to make an impact in society.
Mhm.
So, where do you see EK Inspire in 5 to 10 years?
So in 5 to 10 years, by God's grace, we'll be doing a lot. A
Okay.
lot will be up and running to shift people's mentality and mindset to make them more productive, more successful,
Okay.
more fulfilled in life, and also make Africa a better place. Because
Okay.
I find that Africa is one continent that is so distinct from the rest in terms of the kind of mindset the people have. You go to China, Chinese people think that they are the best, like they are on top of the world, or they should be on top of the world. If you go to Britain, Great Britain thinks that this is Great Britain, like this is
They have
the
the name
this
Great.
is a superpower. Yeah, you see, when you go to America, if you go to America
Superiority
and
complex.
somebody in America like is the best to do something, in maybe the youngest person to make a certain feat or achieve something in America,
They'll say in the world.
they will report it as the
In the
youngest
world.
person in
In
the
the
world.
world. It's true.
You see,
The strongest man. Watch wrestling. They'll say this person is the strongest man in the
in the
world. This
world.
person is meanwhile the person is
It-
confined to America.
exactly.
Yeah.
And go to Russia is the same thing. Everywhere is the same thing except my continent,
Oh my
Africa.
God.
And Africa is so equipped with human resource. We have it. Natural resource. We have it. The sun. The sun alone. I think we underestimate what this power is. Where you have sunlight throughout the year. Not Charlie. So I think that we underestimate ourselves too much, and so that is one thing that we are also going to work to try to change. And that is just one example. There are other things in society that we want to fix, not only in Africa but also beyond. And we will be working very effectively. 5 to 10 years, I see EK Inspire working very effectively to address these problems in real time.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ebenezer, for your time. I believe our viewers have really enjoyed this segment. Our viewers, this has been the Tales of Africa podcast. Subscribe for more amazing exclusive content about Africans who are doing extraordinary and amazing things. We'll catch you another time. Bye
Bye bye. Subscribe.
bye.